hello. Is that Mark we have hiding in the shadows? Gotta unpack my stuff again. My excessive multitasking is probably going to calm down by the end of this week. Well, actually, you know what? I take that back. Maybe the end of next week. Where I'm constantly... Oh, and Billy as well. It says I only have one viewer, but apparently there's two of you. But yeah, then after next week, maybe I won't need to unpack my shit every single time. It apparently does. Who knows? Maybe there's 500 people watching right now, and we'll never know. So I finished watching She-Ra, and I decided I wanted to draw She-Ra. I actually decided well before I was done with the show that I would draw her, but I was gonna move her down the list a little bit, but I thought I'm gonna get into some pretty Halloween-centric stuff, so it probably would be a while before I get to her if I didn't do it right away, and I want to do a little kind of fresh on the show. I'm gonna do a mild sort of redesign that I thought would be kind of cool, but nothing crazy. Not really even a redesign, just sort of, yeah, you'll see, slightly different look. What can you even see on the floor? Like, don't forget, this is like part of the desk. I think you're seeing the wire from my heater, which is still there, even though it hasn't been on in over 6 months. But yeah. But anyway, let's draw She-Ra. The white and the the white and the blue. I'm not even seeing white and blue. You don't mean the light. I assume you'd recognize that. Oh, I bet I know. Crumpled up on the... Oh, okay. That is actually my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy towel. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really good show. When you say the middle, do you mean like the middle of all 4 seasons or the middle of like the first season? Okay. I liked it a lot. You're wondering why I'm drawing her so small? There's a reason. Did you ever watch the original She-Ra, Mark? Pretty sure it was before my time, but like I think the reruns were on. I do remember it being a thing, but I was really young. I had a lot of He-Man toys, but no real memories to speak of for the cartoon. I remember the movie with Dolph Lundgren more. I'm having mixed feelings about this. You know what? I'm gonna tweak my original idea. I'm gonna draw her a bit bigger. I feel like I'm not gonna do stuff justice drawing it that small. Or 5 seasons, that's what I meant to say, Billy. So I came late to it, but I was hearing recently that it was actually canceled at one point, and then they brought it back, like fan outcry. Is that right? Because I remember hearing like a lot of positive stuff about it when it was on, so I was surprised to hear that. That was my plan, and I'm going to do something sort of similar-ish to that. But I was going to have her standing up on something kind of I had in mind, and it would have forced me to draw her so small it was starting to bug me. I'd not be at all surprised if that Luke pose was an inspiration for He-Man and She-Ra. Like they were marketing at the time. Yeah, I think I saw it when I was grabbing reference material, actually. I think I know what you mean. Well, probably from the original '80s show, probably. Mess around with the headdress a little bit, but not too much. Oh, the ears, you mean? Or the points here? Pretty stoic, I guess. I'm having a bit of an internal conflict on how this is going, because I did contemplate doing more of an action pose with her, and then I changed my mind to have her kind of standing on the dead body of like a big monster. The thing is, the action poses are cool and they're more dynamic, but when it's your only time drawing the character, sometimes they don't show off the outfit and the design as well, you know, because they're all contorted and foreshortened and all that stuff. And I kind of wanted to like do some stuff here, but I kind of had an idea of like just making her look super badass action hero pose and stuff. Not that she doesn't look badass, but it's not the same, you know. Okay, so here's actually where I'm gonna kind of mess around with some stuff a little bit. I'm starting to second guess if I want to. Screw it, I'm going for it. Going for it. Ah. I don't know, like I kind of want to say big action scene or something, but like some of the, like when Catra kind of has her turn, I think that's pretty satisfying. It's pretty late into it. I really like what's her face. I always forget her name for some reason, but the one with the pigtails. I like her a lot. She's probably my favorite character. And Scorpia, I thought, is pretty funny. Glimmer gets a bit annoying sometimes. Right, Trappa, yeah. I just think she's a really fun character. Because she's so quirky and stuff. But then, in addition to that, I think the pigtails is just such a cool, kind of living pigtails is such a cool thing. Oh yeah, he's funny, but like you said, also annoying. So she's got like 3 looks in the show, right? She's got her She-Ra outfit, which changes. So there's 2 of them, changes in the later season. And she's got her non-She-Ra outfit, and I'm deciding to use the jacket from the non-She-Ra outfit, so it's almost like, kind of like the way Rogue dresses. And other than outside of that, I'm mostly leaning into her second version, but I'm taking a couple of elements from the classic outfit as well. So she's not going to have the bare legs, but she is going to have a skirt, a more full skirt, and I'm giving her the choker as well. Why was Bo your favorite, Mark? Oh, because Seahawk was annoying, you mean? You know what? Let's tweak this. I can take what I have and I can turn this into an action pose. I'm gonna do it. Or, not super actiony, but you get what I mean. Pencil's being weird. I was kind of I didn't dislike Bo, but I didn't love him either. But I like Catra. You said that you watched the original, Mark. Were you like a fan, or was it just something that was kind of on here and there because of your age and such? Okay. So I was gonna ask about some of the significant differences and stuff, if you remember them. Because I don't really know, and I'm kind of assuming most, if not all, of those characters did appear, but I'm assuming most of their turns and things were pretty different. But I also don't know. That's sort of too short. Too short. Running an angle that fits on the page, but allows some length to the blade as well. Okay. How much of a how much interaction did she ever have with He-Man? Because I know they're set in the same universe, like it's Grayskull and stuff, right? But does it kind of stop and start there, or? Adjustments to her facial expression. By adjustments, I mean erase the whole face. iffy on that, but I'll make some tweaks while I ink it. Yeah, because this version, obviously, there's no direct references or tie-ins to He-Man, but just the fact that she, you know, says for the honor of Grayskull would imply a one-time connection at least. Okay. All right. Let's ink her. What about He-Man? Mark, were you more into He-Man, or was it kind of the same deal? It was just on, and you'd see it here and there. By the way, thank you for the follow, Fanimation. That was a few days ago. I don't know if you're with us right now, but thank you and welcome. Okay. Most of my toys were that I had for He-Man were from the flea market. We used to go to the flea market fairly often when I was little, and because the He-Man craze was like kind of dying out by then. Like, what year did Masters of the Universe start? I think it was before I was born, and then when I was born, it was kind of dying out. And then by the time I was old enough to really be aware of what I was watching, it was essentially done. Kept the headdress relatively close to the new one, but I definitely exaggerated it a little bit more. 83 to 85, okay. So yeah, I was born in 84. Here's a question for you, Mark, though. So I know that the toys actually came with little comic books. which, as far as I'm aware, the animation team didn't really reference at all. So was there a comic book that you referenced? Was that outside of the ones that came with the toys, or were those the ones that came with the toys? Also, has anybody ever seen the Toys That Made Us episode about He-Man? Because that's how I know that part. The guy that designed the initial sculpture for He-Man was this really scrawny guy that apparently was always obsessed with muscles, apparently. Okay. I remember I had a little Masters of the Universe vinyl record as well. I don't know if it was just an episode, like the audio from an episode, or what. I think it had like a read-along book, I think is what it was. I also had a Super Friends one of those. So I remember those more than the actual cartoons. I don't remember ever watching the Super Friends cartoon, actually. I think that might have been even more before my time. Really? I don't know if I knew that. In the comic or in the cartoon? Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe I did know that. I think I remember that being mentioned on a YouTube video now. I think it came up before because I know Chantal was into it. But did anybody watch the Masters of the Universe Revelation? Finally finished that a couple weeks ago. I thought it was pretty good. Okay. Yeah, the Kevin Smith one. What did you think, Mark? I can't remember if we talked about it before or not. Um, well, you're right about He-Man for sure. I feel like Skeletor was still in it quite a bit though. So one of the other additions I took from the original She-Ra is I gave her the choker, because I always thought chokers were kind of a cool look. Which meant opening up the area, but I still kept it up high, so we're not going all cleavagey like the 1980s version. Oh yeah, that was cool element, yeah. I liked Mark Hamill as Orko. Here's something kind of interesting. So, well, actually, question for everybody first. Anybody seen the movie Wizards? Animated movie? So it's a Ralph Bakshi who did Felix or Fritz the Cat, among other things. Did Wizards, and it's a sci-fi fantasy movie that is definitely weird, definitely not for everybody, and definitely has some pacing and story issues. But it can also be kind of a fun movie. It's kind of, I wasn't too impressed with it when I first watched it, but it grew on me quite a bit. Well, maybe not quite a bit, but it definitely grew on me over the years. Rewatching it a couple times. And I think just the idea of a animated sci-fi fantasy thing was so cool that I wanted to like it, so I kept giving it more shots. And I was like, okay, you know what? There's something here. There's something here. But anyway, that was distributed by 20th Century Fox. Came out in May of 1977, and then Star Wars came out the next week, and Wizards was instantly pushed out of theaters to make more room for Star Wars. And I've known that for a long time, and I actually tell that story usually when I'm doing my history of animation and stuff in term 3. But, and I guess I knew this because I've seen it a few times, like I said, but I forgot that Mark Hamill is actually a voice in Wizards. So it's kind of funny that the movie that kind of just destroyed any hope that movie had also starred one of its leads. I have homework for whoever wants to look this up, because I just realized I've kept meaning to look this up, and I kept forgetting. So, She-Ra, her like real name or whatever is Adora, right? But then they reference a previous She-Ra named Mera. And I kept meaning to look up what She-Ra's name was in the 80s cartoons, because I kept wondering if, like, was it Adora in the 80s, or was it Mera, and that was kind of a nod to the original show. Okay. I kind of assumed, because I assumed they messed with the mythology quite a bit, but I also couldn't help but wonder, because whenever there's like a reimagining of something, or a reboot or remake, that's such a common idea to kind of work references to the old one into like the backstory, you know? Ah, shit. Also, Billy, I can't mean, so, okay, because I did watch it while I was drawing, and I followed it pretty well. Like, for the most part, all I really missed out on maybe were, on occasion, action scenes. And even then, I tried to pause and watch what was going on. But the old lady, like the kind of Madam Mim or whatever the fuck, did they ever resolve what her deal was? Because that was one thing that I felt was left hanging, but I couldn't help but wonder if I missed something. Or if they kind of just left that... Is that yeah, kinda, to my question or something earlier? I don't know when that came in, because if that was to my question, you were really fast on that. Okay. So how did that resolve then? Yeah, they kind of show that, because there's one where she's kind of talking to both Mera and Adora at the same time. But then I feel like after that episode, I feel like we don't see her again. Make this skirt a little bit shorter, but again, she does have pants underneath. These are not bare thighs. probably be more obvious when I color it, but I promise. This is not a Christmas. Oh,
Rolling up Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling.
so we're on track for this to be a fairly short one, but next week will probably be a longer one. I might even consider next week starting it a little bit earlier than normal because I'm expecting it to be longer. But I don't know. Haven't decided on that yet. Hey Louisa, how are you? Okay. I think they did some comics too based on the show. Are you a She-Ra fan, Louisa? What are you up to, Louise? Are you drawing as you watch? Or just hanging out? Actually, for that matter, what about the rest of you guys? What are we all up to? Oh shit, I should have drawn that up higher on her thigh. Because of the foreshortening. Fuck. Oh well. Live and learn. Yeah, the Netflix one is what inspired this, even though I'm taking some liberties here. Although this jacket she's wearing is right out of the Netflix show still. So it's mostly the Netflix show that I'm pulling from here. By the way, I was very surprised and impressed. I mean, spoilers for She-Ra, but where things go with her and Catra. Because I had heard, I knew that it was a really popular show, like with the whole LGBTQ community, and it was considered a really strong LGBTQ show. But there's like quite a few characters that are introduced early on that are an example of that. And I always thought it was more like fans shipping She-Ra and Catra. I didn't expect them to actually go there. And I was just impressed because they're always so reluctant to do that with their major characters, it seems. So I was like, wow, they actually went for it. And it was pretty satisfying when it happened. It was a good arc that got us there. I think I might have told you guys this last week, but not this past weekend, the weekend before is when I started watching She-Ra. And the same weekend I finished The Crown, watched Dracula, Cobra Kai, Inside Job, and Carmen Sandiego. Netflix algorithm has no idea what to do with me. Inside Job was really good, yeah. And I was impressed with Carmen Sandiego as well. I had heard that one was good too. And then first episode, or partway into the first episode, I was kind of like, I don't know. It'd be a tough one to stick with, but it got pretty good. It's a pretty strong show as well. Pretty fun. Yeah. But pays off in the end. And I hope I didn't just spoil that for you, Louisa. They did, but it's also kind of like, you know, like Luca had that as well, and apparently was supposed to lead there, but then they ultimately didn't. Probably for fear of how certain people would take it. So like, I felt like it was gonna be something that was gonna be maybe hinted at, and but left kind of ambiguous maybe. So like I said, I was very impressed that they actually went for it. It shouldn't be something that's considered a ballsy move, but unfortunately it still is kind of a ballsy move. Okay, good. What was that yep to, Mark? About the hints or the fact that it's still kind of a ballsy move? It's like when they announced that LeFou was going to be gay in Beauty and the Beast. And, like, there's nothing in the movie to even imply that he's gay. It's only because they made the announcement. And then certain theaters refused to watch it, or to play it, in, like, conservative towns and stuff. Ridiculous. Oh, spoilers. But you said you were done with it. Oh, that's interesting. So was the character in the original also supposed to be a past She-Ra? Is that the idea? I think He-Man as well is supposed to be, like, a later generation of He-Man. Like, there was other He-Mans that came before. Yeah, but you said you were bored with it and you didn't like it. Or was our conversation intriguing you to come back to it and then I blew the ending? While watching, by the way, I also thought it might be fun to do a Catra fan art, but make her more like more feline and monstrous. But then the way that it ended, I don't know if I got the heart to do that. Well, I'm sorry, Mark. There's other stuff that happens too, though. It's pretty cool sci-fi shit that happens in. Oops. I did, yeah. And that's pretty cool. I am pretty confident it's going to be a one-off for Hugh's return, though. I don't think he's going to be the MCU Wolverine. I think it's either going to be a multiverse type scenario, or it's going to be something that they blatantly comment on by breaking the fourth wall. Because I feel like Deadpool's going to kind of walk the line between continuity and non-continuity. No, I think it's legit. I think they'd be asking for trouble if he was trolling. I will admit, though, there was a moment where I did wonder the same thing, just because when Hugh shows up in the video, like, it definitely sounds like him, but you can't really see his face that well. So I did make me wonder, like, well, it could be a joke, but the thing is from a marketing perspective, I feel like that kind of announcement gets fans way too riled up. And to do that and be like, ha, fooled you, I think would probably really hurt your movie. And I don't think it would do that. Now, if he's barely in it, and they lean a little too much on him in the marketing, that wouldn't shock me as much as it would like to, but... Because also remember, too, like, during the post-credit scene of the first Deadpool, he said, we're going to have Cable, and then we did have Cable. Although, I realize that's not quite the same level of announcement, but still. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you slow it down, because his face is kind of there for like a second, so if you slow it down, maybe if it's not too soft focus, maybe you can tell. But no, I do think it is him, though. Or, well, even if it's not him in the actual video, it probably is his voice, and I think he is going to be in it, but... Yeah, but to me, it doesn't read like he's trolling Hugh. Like, they're making it feel like an official announcement. Like, with the logo at the end and everything, and the Marvel Studios logo, like, they're making it feel way too official. So if they did that and then said no, fuck you, we're lying, like that's just like a fuck you to their audience, and I don't think that goes well for them. Okay, we're done, guys. We're throwing a signature on here. So this is not quite what I had in mind. So at one point I thought action pose fighting a giant monster, but then I was like, but I kind of want to play with her costume a bit, and I'm not going to really see much of it in that kind of pose. So then I was like, okay, hero pose on top of a dead monster, but then she was too small. So then I just went hero pose, and then at the last minute I changed it to mid-flight, even though she doesn't really fly. But whatever, not bad, not too bad. I just kind of want to see her in that hero pose at some point, though. Well, but the logo is official. Like, it's animated, like it's in the video. But anyway, there we are, guys. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Mark. So have a good night, everybody. Back on Thursday. I got one last non-Halloween-y thing, and then it's going to be pretty much all Halloween-centric stuff for the month of October, which I'm looking forward to. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you next time.